Okay, so hi everybody. Um so this is a top 3 list of the 3 times that Dawn of the Croods was not for kids. If you haven't heard of Dawn of the Croods, it's a awesome Netflix original DreamWorks uh TV show uh, on Netflix that details what happened before or the end in the Croods movie. If any of you remember the Croods movie, the Croods movie was basically that movie about a family of cavemen in the Cretaceous era called the Croods, and they and Ipa, the daughter Ipa, basically, yeah, it go watch it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Anyway, so I'm gonna go over the 3 times that Dawn of the Croods was not for kids. At number 3, we start off with an episode where Eep and her brother Thunk get rich with eggs to because they want to. Mm, the episode basically starts off with them uh, seeing how much fun their friends are having on these new slick rocks called sleep boards, which, which is like which is like basically a prehistoric version of a skateboard only without the wheels. If you catch my drift, yeah. And so Thunk and Eep ask their mom and dad for stuff to trade for a sleep board because they only have flies, and the guy who's giving sleep boards away has all the flies he needs, and the parents say no because uh, well, basically their reasoning is like if the son and daughter want to waste um perfectly good stuff on junk, they said, I guess. Eh, it I guess the parents just think that they're not responsible because it that's what it looked like to me in the episode. It's just I'm sorry, I'm not a good explainer, guys. I know this is going on longer than it needs to, but I'm not a good explainer. Anyway, this embarrassing moment happens about midway in the episode where Thunk and Neep are already rich with eggs, and they're walking through through Aw Valley in the fanciest clothes they could have bought at that time with the eggs. And uh, Thunk is hiding some eggs up his pelt is what they called it back then, and they fall out in front of mm, uh, a lot of people that were in a crowd, uh, watching them laugh and walk in their fancy clothes, basically. It Thunk and it's an embarrassing moment because it's kind of subtle, and I mean they fall out of the back of his pelt, and Thunk gives gives a look of surprise. It's just, I'm sorry if I'm making you guys uncomfortable. I've never done one of these lists before, and I'm not a good explainer, but I mean, comment below in the comment section if you think I'm doing good. Anyway, yeah. I really wasn't going to add this number 3 in because it's pretty similar to the number 2 new entry that was going to just be the 2 and 1 entries that I talked about. So at number 2, this comes a lot later in the episode that I was just talking about, when and Thunk and Eep were walking somewhere. I haven't watched Dawn of the Croods in a little while. I mean, I have, but I'm very forgetful, okay? So, anyway, it happens a little later in the episode when Thunk and Eep are... I know I'm pacing, yes. I'm just really nervous. I'm sorry if you guys are dizzy. I'm very sorry. Anyway, later in the episode, when Thunk and Eep are walking to their moose, another prehistoric creature that they made up in that show that laid the eggs for Thunk and Eep to get rich, and they're walking back when all of a sudden they're interrupted by these two guys named Bud and Crud, who are basically the Valley's very I would say, like, over preparing egg collectors for the coming day of winters, like Ice Age, basically. Yeah. They're basically collecting all the eggs around for the Ice Age, the age that they think is coming, which it actually is, but not as soon as they think. And everyone thinks they're crazy, but I mean, really they're right, but I mean, you get my drift, right? Anyway, so they're interrupted by Bud and Crud, and Bud and Crud are asking, hey, how'd you get those eggs? The eggs. The eggs. How can you have so many eggs without us knowing how you got them? Oh, and they say brother a lot, by the way. Like this, brother! It gets kind of annoying, I know. Anyway. Yeah. So, Eep and Thunk try to brush them off by telling some lies, but then eggs fall out of the back of Thunk's pelt again, and then Thunk says, with a nervous chuckle, I just laid those? Which is the real kind of embarrassing moment, because, I mean, it kind of doesn't mean anything to you at first, but as soon as I thought about it really hard, I realized that it kind of counted as a little bit of potty humor, like without any of the bad words or anything. Yeah. Anyway, on to number 1. Yeah, like that. Okay, so at number 1, we have something from a different episode, which is basically not too far into the Dawn of the Croods series. It's when and it's when and Grug and Uga, Eep and Thunk and Andy's parents decide to go out and have fun like they used to before or the weather changed. Wink, wink. Greg and Uga are smart. Anyway, so yeah, but that's not the embarrassing moment that we're talking about. The embarrassing moment is when so the, I have to kind of run through the synopsis because it takes a while to get to the embarrassing moment, but not too long. Anyway, so Sandy kind of escapes after Grug and Uga leave Eve, and they put Eep in charge. Arge. There's a little joke about Eep being the oldest when the parents are gone, and that makes her the wisest. And then Thunk jabs at that by saying, where's Gran?" Well, I mean, okay, then where's Gran? Which is basically their grandma, Grug's mother-in-law, and Uga's biological mother. Yeah, uh, I mean, they just call her Gran because, yeah. Anyway, uh, and they all say gardening club, which is actually just as straightforward as it sounds. Nouns. Gran and a bunch of other people go to a garden full of whatever is whatever plant is in there, and then they club it with clubs to eat to like eat eat when it's all done being clubbed. Don't know if they share with their families, but yeah, you get the point. Anyway, so Sandy gets out. She almost bites this super uh, cool cool girl status girl named Pat that's in Eep's class uh, named Pat. I don't know if I already said that. I forgot. I'm so sorry if I did. Anyway, so yeah. Um, n- Eep basically tells Thunk that the reason Pat is so cool is because Pat's the one who invented the eye roll in the Cretaceous era, and uh, it's basically, yeah, Eep shows Thunk, and he nearly faints, which was kind of funny to me. Anyway, so yeah, just as Pat was about to eye roll Eep for saying that her Eep's parents. Uh, can I say her parents? You know that her means Eep, right? I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm just so nervous. Anyway, as soon as just as Pat is about to eye roll Eep for telling Pat that her parents don't usually let her go out night hunting. Um, Eep tells Pat that her parents are out for the night, which is true. So, but then follows it up with saying that she's throwing party without the hunting. It's sort of just like a party. Yeah. She only intended for Pat to come, really, and then chaos ensues because her Pat's hunting party followed Pat to Eep's non-hunting party. Um okay, so now we're on the verge of getting to this number one embarrassing moment, which is okay, so a person in Pat's hunting party named Sulk, Ulk. Well, okay, no, I shouldn't start with that. Anyway, so Abe's party starts off bad. In terms of everybody's, well, I mean boring, not bad, because everybody's just standing around. So Eep gets out the left unders, the bugs that Uga left under the rock, and says snacks, yeah, basically party snacks, to liven up the party. And then she um soon after that, man, I'm thirsty, man. I'm just really nervous. Please, please just roll with it, guys. I'm just really nervous. Sprite just splashed in my face a little bit. Oh, man. Anyway. Yeah. So, soon after the bugs are digested, well, not digested, but soon after the people eat the bugs, someone calls out and says that they're thirsty. So Eep prepares drinks, and then this is the moment where our number one spot happens. Someone decides to put a spike apple fruit, which is like just what it sounds like in your head, an apple with spikes all over it. So someone decides to be a silly prankster and put a spike apple fruit in the drinks as a prank. And this guy named Sulk, who is also in Eep's class and has the unfortunateness of being the son as well as his brother Bulk. They have the unfortunateness of being the sons of Snoot and Meep. They're really stuck up people. Just watch the show. Anyway, this guy named Sulk, who is also in Eep's class, has the unfortunateness of being the one who accidentally picks up the spike apple. And after it scratches him, he yells out, "Ow! Hey! Who spiked the drinks?" And this phrase didn't really mean anything to me at first, other than, that's kind of funny. But I recently asked someone if it had any relation to someone who was trying to be a goofy prankster in the real world, putting like some sort of alcohol into a regular drink, ink, because I was curious. And unfortunately, spike the drinks is 100% a phrase that means, hey, who put alcohol in my water? Yeah, so you can basically see why this stole the #1 spot. And I am so sorry that this video took so long. I am just really nervous, so bear with me, guys. I'm gonna get this uploaded right now, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please don't unsubscribe.